Our original topic, and we will get into it, was the future of the Republican Party, but one cannot go into any discussion tonight without asking about their reaction to today's fatal shooting at the U.S. Holocaust Museum, of all places, in Washington. An African-American guard is killed, the suspect, an 88-year-old white supremacist. Liz, what do you say?
Well, I think it was obviously a horrific event, Larry, and I think that, as I understand it, they have apprehended the man who was guilty. We know who he was. I do think people need to be a little bit careful about using words like terrorism before we know exactly. You know, clearly he was psychotic, but we don't really know much yet about whether or not he was representing any sort of an organization. And I do think we need to be a little bit careful, but obviously it was a horrific event.
All right, James, is it larger than this, or is it just down to the point of a white supremacist kills a black American in a Jewish museum?
Right. Well, the first thing is he's a criminal. It's a criminal act. We don't. There's no. It's not a political act. What he did was a criminal act. So let's call it what he is. If he's 88 or 8 or 18, it doesn't matter. He's a criminal. Of course, it has huge significance. I mean, 27 million people have visited the Holocaust Museum. But, you know, probably the most dastardly deed in one of them in the history of the world. And that you would have a criminal come in there with some hate motivation is certainly it's newsworthy and it's significant. And, you know, this kind of stuff has gone on in the world. It is going on, and in all likelihood will continue to go on. But hopefully we'll use this as some kind of a teaching moment.
Liz, is it parallel to some of the political discourse going on in America? Not to murder, of course, but to what's happened to our politics with screaming talk shows and wild people on the other side, and everybody's angry?
No, I mean, I think that we really, it's very important to be careful here. I mean, I think, you know, in every society, certainly in our society, at every moment in history, we have had people, criminals, as James puts it, people who are you know, crazy, psychotic. Clearly, this man was a white supremacist, if you look at his writings, an anti-Semite, you know, a really vile human being. Every society has those, but I really think it's a stretch too far to sort of say that that somehow can be connected to our political discourse.
Okay, well said. James, let's get to the topic at hand.